Hey, Scary King here at La Forêt. Just doing a little walk Sunday afternoon. Loads of little fruit flies buzzing around. Just wanted to do a little quick clip, and I'm going to put a link in the description to the last Whisper Jack show that he did a few days ago regarding the US fighting the Japanese. And this official paper or book, whatever you want to call it, with all these pictures which you can see without a shadow of a doubt are bogus, faked, cut and pasted, whatever you want to call it. But these are official books that go out. Now, as we've said before, they could be watching what people are doing and putting this stuff out themselves on purpose just to see how people react to it. But the point of this is not to continue to keep going over all the old stuff constantly, like the Civil War pictures with weird things, things sticking out of people's bodies and arms and odd eyes and things like that, pictures that just don't look real. And also what Neil was talking about on our last thing about the old the mighty ship that sank in the Atlantic, and some of the pictures that were official pictures that show very odd characters that look like they've been either drawn in or pasted in. And there was another one we watched the other day to do with World's Fairs, where you could see that people on a bridge were bigger than the people in the foreground. The trees, once you zoomed in, you could see they'd been penciled in, they weren't real. Anyway, so what I was going to do is I'm going to have a little revisit the folder of quite an amount of pictures that I collected on the old Yellow and Blue. The clown show that is the Yellow and Blue with the old Green Dwarf. And how I would say a good 95% of those pictures are staged, tampered with, and in a few years' time, like I said made a comment on Whisper Jack's latest show, in 40-50 years' time, people will be looking at those pictures going, hang on a minute, this looks a bit dodgy, doesn't it? Right? And how easy it is to manipulate people into believing something either took place, is taking place, by simply adding a stamp to it or a plaque to a place where an event supposedly took place. And we followed it as well. We went along with it all and went, oh yeah. So we're going to have a go through some of these absolute joke pictures that me and Sarah looked at regarding the Yellow and Blue, because that's my sort of that's my pet hate. And what's really brought that on is a very short discussion I had with somebody who was visiting, a good friend of ours, who threw his arms up in the air when I even suggested that perhaps what the news was putting out wasn't really what was going on. And I said to him, well, sit down with me for 10 minutes and I think you'll change your mind. But of course he didn't want to do that, because people don't like to admit that they've been duped. I don't think anybody does. Anyway, I'll put a link in the description to Jack's last thing. It's absolutely brilliant. It's very funny as always, but it really does show you that what the mainstream puts out is not necessarily and pretty much always either the complete opposite or a fabrication of the truth in the first place. And it was very interesting, and what they did back then, they're doing today, and what they're doing today, they did back then. Simple as that. Anyway, hope everyone's doing good, and yeah, check out the video in the description on Whisper Jack's channel. It's really good, and it is an eye-opener again. And none of us really know what's going on, but there you go. Have a good one.